So I'd been feeding raw for a long time. I moved back down to finish my degree up in Oregon, and then moved back down in a totally different topic, doing English. It was easy, and something that I always had an easy time with. So I decided to do that, and came back down to work in technology. Worked a little bit in real estate, a little bit in design, just kind of figuring out things, and really enjoyed working in technology. That was really fun. I had a great job, wonderful people who I'm still in contact with as well, and I got sick. I got really sick. I was deathly ill. Suddenly, one day I woke up very sick and was actually given, during that time, I was given about a 50% chance of 5-year survival. I got lupus, but I got a very atypical case of lupus, and it affected all my organs. So not so much my skin and joints, it was all my organs and my bone marrow. So it was pretty serious, and I was very sick and in and out of the hospital for a couple of years, really. I mean, until things were a little bit more stable. And during that time, I realized that I was feeding 10 or 12 pounds of food that I was buying at Whole Foods for my meat, that I was buying at Whole Foods for my animals at that time. I had about 10 animals, and I would make everybody's food. So I make the birds, the turtles, the cats, the dog. Everybody's food gets made fresh by me, and I couldn't afford it anymore. But my heart and my ethics couldn't allow me to buy from like a regular grocery store. I knew how those animals suffered, and as a vegan, I understand about all of the problems associated with the food industry and the safety and just the horrible torture that those animals go through. And so I just couldn't do it. And I talked to a really dear friend of mine. We used to walk together at the beach at Chrissy Field, and she's always fed fresh raw foods to her animals. She's from Kenya, and they don't really have much dog food there. They do, but they've always fed fresh food to their animals, and so we really used to share that commonality. And when we would spend time together walking at the beach, and I told her about my idea about what I wanted to do. I'd already been doing something called Meat Madness, where I would get together once a month with a group of friends from the neighborhood, and we would make food for the whole month together. But we were still buying from these local sources. It was still kind of expensive, and I thought, well, I could take this up a notch, and I can actually, I kept trying to make this more affordable and doable for me. And I thought, well, if I go to the farms and I vet them out myself, and I learn what they're doing, and I feel comfortable with what they're doing, I can feel good about buying from them and build these good relationships with these ranchers that are doing things in a really unique and amazing way. Then maybe I could share that with others, and we could combine our purchasing power and potentially support those farmers and also get things at a better price for us. And so started that, and talked to her about it, and she said, I was like, oh, I live in this little apartment, I have nowhere to do it. And she had a really nice garage, and she said, oh, just start in my garage. And next month I set up a Yahoo group, had 150 members. And I started, already had started building relationships with these farmers, and so got everything on board and started right from there. So a lot of those members from those early days when we were in the garage, and we operated out of that garage for 7 years. They would order a month in advance online. I would order from the suppliers. It would all come in and go out the same day. It was like planning a wedding every month with all the, it was between 40 to 60 suppliers depending on what I was doing that month. And there was about 200 people who would be purchasing at, that was kind of an average, 150 to 200 people. So it was very busy. It was like a beehive of activity coming in and out that day. It was really crazy. We had to do membership moratoriums, trying to restrict the group. But a lot of the members that were involved back then are still members today, which is just so amazing and awesome, and makes me really happy that we're all still part of this really unique community, and that people remember, oh, back in the garage days, so it's pretty fun. And everybody had to talk to me before they left, because I had to make sure every single order was really accurate before they left. And so I got to talk to literally every member every month, and that was, I really kind of miss those days. I really loved having relationships with all those people. Anyway, so we grew and grew, and we had to figure out something else. So we decided, I started looking for a place. My health improved, I got better. I never had any real long-term plans for SFR. It was really just like a side project that I was going to do just to, be able to afford to feed my own animals. But as I got healthier and the group grew, we decided it was, more like a legit business. We had to move into a legitimate space. We moved into this space in 2009. It took me 2 years to find the right place. I didn't have any funding, didn't have any capital to start with, no business loans, nothing like that. So it was really just totally putting our pennies together and moving in. And fortunately, the big walk-in coolers and units here, it was a seafood processor, so all that stuff was already in here. So that was something that was amazing. It also wasn't like subterranean or up a bunch of stairs, and there's parking out front that's like almost impossible to find in San Francisco. So all of those things sort of worked out, and the scale of it is just the right size for us. It's not too big, not too small. So we moved in here in 2009. Soon after that, we became a state licensed pet food manufacturer. So we are licensed and inspected by the state, and we are a certified pet food manufacturing facility. We have, that was kind of a to-do to get that done, but we did. And so not everybody who makes pet food has that licensing, and it is a higher standard. So it is important to look for somebody who has that if you're buying food from someone. And it does make it a little more legal too, so there's that. So everything here is, because of my licensing, everything has to be fit for human consumption. So USDA certified or state inspected, or some sort of standard inspection. So it's not just from a USDA facility, it actually has to have the bug on it, which is this little seal of inspection approval. So everything that comes in is fit for human consumption.